his daughter too also told him that she's not going to pay, but she's the one that said he needed a new roof. And um, so when we went out there, he said, "Yeah, we better sign. Let's sign." I said, "That's right. We're going to sign the contract, and then 30 days from now, maybe 45 days from now, when you get your money, then when your credit score goes up, because it ought to go up about 60 to 100 points. When it goes up, then we'll get you the combination of the solar and your roof. And then your monthly payment, I'll have you locked in at that $357 price. That's a guarantee." He said, "Okay." And the solar is done by kilowatts, so we know exactly what we could charge him. And he goes, "Okay, let's do it." And it's out of my hands after that. So if it's the office's job to worry about the financing, not mine. Anyway, I'm not trying to it all the time. It's Hey Ray, I don't care how you do it. When I don't care how you do it. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm telling you how I do it. And if I'm on a job and I say do something, you do it, or I'm not going to a lead with you. Period. That's the way it works. I'm not going to any more leads, because when I say do something, you do it. That's how you learn. And if you never get the contract signed, you never learn. You have to go through that process. That's part of the process. Then you get to put your sales on the board, and then you wait for the finance company. You wait for the office to get them financed. That's not our job. We're not the bankers. Our job is to sell it and get them to sign it. Anyway, I'm not trying to go against anybody. I'm just telling you how I do it. And then so you do whatever you want to do. But once again, I worked really hard to get her to say yes, and for you to tell me no after she said yes is not acceptable to me. That's you did say no. It's on the tape. No, we have to get them financed first. It's on the recording. It's on the recording. I said, go. I said, write up the contract and have them sign it. Pretty simple stuff. I know, but once again, listen to me. I don't care what you do, but we're going to do it my way when we're in a house, or I'm not going to any leads with you ever again. And I'm not training you. I'm not wasting my time with you or anybody else who's not going to listen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You go ahead and be right all you want. That's your prerogative. You go ahead and write all you want, but you're not going to do it on my expense. We're going to do it my way when I'm in house. So I appreciate you letting me go to leads with you and stuff like that, but it is what it is. That's all I got to say. Hey, I got to get on my TV show. We'll see you tomorrow. That's the way it works, America. Hello, Houston and Corpus Christi, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Tallahassee, Florida. Oh, boy. I can't believe we get to do this stuff. If my mama was alive, she'd go, itty bitty. I can't believe you get to do this stuff. Anyway, I'm doing some consulting, and I'm with the salesman, and we're closing down a deal. It's a good size deal. We're closing it down. I tell the salesman, write the contract and have them sign it. The people, now they didn't qualify, but that's not the point. The point is to go through the motion so you learn how to do it, and then you let the finance people worry about getting them qualified, not you. We spent an hour and a half there longer than we needed to be because the salesman wouldn't listen to me. And he argued his point all the way to the end. And I'm like, I can't go on leads with you. I can't help you. You're not helpable. You're not helpable. You're not teachable, coachable. Like 6 hours we spent. 6 hours. Look at that. See this? 6 hours we spent. That's half a day. Like, you're going to find out in your life, you don't have half a day to waste. with people who aren't coachable and teachable. And that's the way it works. Okay. If you're not coachable and you're not teachable, why do you have somebody teaching you? Like, why do you go out and waste their time to tell them? It's funny how often I have people tell me, they call us up, they set these appointments, and for 5-10 minutes or so, they tell you how smart they are and everything you're doing, why their strategy is better. And then I go, okay, if your strategy is better, then why are you broke? Or why are you stressing? Why don't you have credit? Like, why did you set the appointment if you're smarter than we are? And a lot of people are smarter than we are. That's not the point. The point is, you don't need to call us and set an appointment to tell us how smart you are. You don't need to call us and set an appointment at all. Go about your business and be smart. But if you ask for our help, you should have the courtesy to listen. And this goes on all the time. It's like with this guy right here. You know, I went on 3 different appointments with him, and each time he told me at the end, as I was selling the deal, why we were going to do it his way. And he screwed up 2 of the 3 deals. And you wonder why he's broke. Anyway, they get trained a certain way. The one thing that I do appreciate about him was he was trained a certain way, and his boss requires he does it the other way. And so that part you got to give them, so that if the sales aren't made, it's because that's the way they want them to be made. But once again, you have to go through the process of closing some deals, even if they don't go through, so that you learn what it's like and the emotion that you get, the excitement of closing a deal. Instead of sitting there, we sat there for an hour and a half with this couple, the sweetest couple in the world, trying to get work on their financing when it wasn't even our job to do that. An hour and a half. Then we called the office for some help. Their only answer was cut the price on the deal. You don't get the point. They didn't qualify for $1. So you could have cut it all the way to 0, and it wouldn't have done anything for them. Our job is to do what? Get them to sign the contract, and then let finance help them. That's why they're called the finance department. And let them spend the hour, 2 hours, whatever it takes in order to get them. Now, by the way, these guys are going to get financed. There's another source, and it's really cool, really cool. So hopefully, they get financed, because their house needs it. It needs it bad. Beautiful house. The alternative is they need to sell some stuff off to pay off their credit cards, so their credit score will go up so they can get financing. Okay. And if they don't do that, then the next alternative, sooner or later, they're going to need a new roof. The alternative is sell the house. There's got to be some other options, but it's not our job as salesmen to figure that out. It's the finance. Let them work with them. That's what they do all day long, and they come up with solutions. But to spend hours and hours in there doesn't work. Doesn't work. All right. Enough of that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And I want to go over what makes a Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, for those of you know, and then we're going to get into some velocity banking tonight. So Bitcoin, that camera sure is shaking. Stay still. I'm shaking the table. That is let's see if that steadied out that camera any. No. Well, I'm using a different stand today, okay? That messes things up. Okay. So, Tallahassee, Florida on its way, and maybe Phoenix, Arizona. We've worked real hard, and I tell you, we're like any other business. Like you have your struggles. Sometimes it goes really well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you go out of business and you have to do it again, and have to pay off all your creditors. That's happened. That's happened to me before. And then I'm like, okay, let's regroup. Have to go get a job, a job, like a sales deal, a sales, something in sales where I'm in charge of my schedule, where I get up at 4 a.m. and I go to bed at 1 a.m. I'm an old guy. That's not hard to do, but I don't want to do it. But you have to do what you have to do, and it is what it is. Like there's no stopping. Men were created a certain way, and that's just it. There's no quitting. So, sometimes you have to start over. It is what it is, and it's painful. Like, oh man, all that we've done, and I've got to pay all these bills off. But you get it done and you start over. Now we're not there, okay? So we're growing. Tallahassee's on board. It should be live sometime in the next 30 days. It's already live, but it can't go in very far because we have to have the guys go up that tower, and that thing is 1,000 something feet tall. Those towers are tall, really tall, and almost half a mile tall. The tower in Houston is 2,100 feet. 2,100 feet is 5,000 feet in a mile, right? Mm-hmm. How many feet in a mile?
It's 5,280 feet.
5,280, and this is 2,000 feet. So it's almost half a mile. Not quite. It's more like 30, 35%, 30% of a mile, But that's way up there. And those guys get paid a lot of money to crawl up that tower. Now, those towers look small way up there, but they're big. They're huge. These things are huge, and they got an elevator that goes up, but that's a long way up. So when they go up, we're going to film because we're paying for it. And I talked to the guy above me today, and I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about the network guy. Because he's going to be sending up the engineers, and that's a job. It's a job, and it's an expensive one. But once again, these guys are going to go up. I want to go up on this one, film it, and do the show. It's going to be real exciting. So anyway, yeah. Hold on. Let me send this guy a note. Everything's okay. Period. I just want you to know that you're new. You're brand new when it comes to sales. And if you don't follow what the experienced people tell you, you can't learn. This is one of your problems, is that you want to be smarter than everybody else. And that's okay. Period. But nobody's going to teach you if you keep telling them that they're wrong and you're right. Just think about that for a minute. Have a good night. I'll be in the office tomorrow. Come on, man. That's something else, okay? All right. So we got people from YouTube, a small amount, Twitter, Instagram, and what's that other one now? It's a Rumble, and there's another one, Twitch. Okay, and thank you for watching us. We don't really, go by social media because we're TV, and TV is bigger than social media, believe it or not. But it is TV still king. So, but we thank you for watching our shows here. Okay, all right. So I just want to explain to you guys out there, and those of you who are watching us from home, and your husbands or wives are out there, or your sons, whatever, family members are out there, or even if it's you and you're in the sales business and you're out selling, you can watch the shows because we do a lot of good strategies. Okay. And this gets very exciting learning how to do these strategies. But here, if you see this right here, look how many man hours that's involved here. 27 man hours just on these 5 deals. Just on these 5 deals. 27 man hours. That's almost half the week. This isn't including all the other leads that we went to that didn't answer the door, that made appointments and totally screwed us over. Yeah, that's what they do. You're an idiot if you make an appointment and don't show up for the appointment. Now, sometimes you forget, but that's because you don't put things on a calendar, and that's why you're in the position you're in. By the way, they don't teach us these things. What they teach us is to be lazy, to ignore, to not be accountable, to not be confrontational, to not be successful, to complain, to blame. And I could just go on and on and on and on. That's what our schools and our parents teach us in society, especially if you're watching social media. So it takes quite a bit to get that mind changed. And if you're going to be in sales, all that you got to get rid of. When I go into a neighborhood and they're Native American, you bring your prejudice, and that's what you're going to get. If you go into a black neighborhood and you don't like blacks, then you're going to get what you get. If you go into a white neighborhood and you don't like whites, you're going to bring that prejudice in, and you're not going to make sales because you're going to come off there. That prejudice comes out. So in sales don't care whether you're white or black or brown or any other color. It don't care whether you're male or female, whether you're fat like me or skinny or tall or short like me, whether you have long hair like me or short hair, whether you're educated, uneducated. Sales don't care about none of that. When you show up to somebody's house, and let's say this lady the other day, she wanted this awning in the back of her house so she could sit out there in peace without the sun beating down on her, And when we showed up, a Cuban and an Indian, showed up. And, you know, you could tell she did not care, which was so cool. And of course, we didn't care. And when you come with that attitude, all those other barriers break down, because why? She had a need. And that need didn't care about all these other things. All it cared about is, I need a roof. Can you just get me a roof? So then you're laying out your qualifications of what it takes to get that roof to her, because there's 1,200 roofers out there that she could choose from. So, you know, you get 1.43 chances. Hold on. See that? 1.43. Yale and other big universities, but Yale just did a 10-year study. 10 years they did. They spent millions of dollars on people who ask companies. Now, here's how this works. Let's say they call you, okay, and they invite you out to their house to do an estimate for their job, okay? And if the company calls you and they invite you, they're still asking you to come to their house. They're saying, yes, come to my house. I may not need it. I don't think I need it. I don't want it, but go ahead and come. So they're still asking you. With that frame in mind, okay, then the next step is, when they go out there, it's an overwhelming chance that the very first person is going to sell them. It's yours to lose. But if another person has to come out, there's 143% chance. So it's just a little over one estimate that a person's going to have. They're going to have one person in their house. And it spills over. So almost every single time, the very first person that comes gets the job. And sometimes they don't. And that's where the 0.43 comes in. So on the second time, it's 143% chance they're going to get it, that second guy, if you don't ask for the order. So this is why it's important that when you go in, you know exactly why you are there. Okay. And then you have to lay out your case for them needing the job. Maybe they don't. If they don't need one, get out of there and go on to the next one. Seriously, go on. And if they do need it, tell them why they need it. And remember, it's their house, not yours. And then let them know why you or your company are the ones to do it. You have to make your case for yourself. You have to make that case. This is why you want to hire us, for this reason. Whatever that is, tell that story. I used to tell people all the time, single parent, missionary, broke most of my life, uneducated, rough around the edges, never had a chance at any good jobs like this. And then when I got my first chance of having a good job, then I did everything that they've told me to do. And because of that, I've been successful, because I listened to the company that hired me. And whatever they told me to do is what I did. And it made things so much easier when you do it for that company. They say, why do you do it? And I said, well, number one, it pays the mortgage. It pays my bills. It's helped me get to here and there. And I enjoy it. That's why I do it. And I have a good employer. And they like doing this. And they love the business. So it makes it easy for me to work. And there you go. It's not hard to do this job. It's a good time to get up every morning and go do it. That's why I work here. Now let's see if we can get you a solution. And then you lay out the case for the company of what the qualifications. Are you licensed? Are you bonded? Are you insured? Do you have any kind of certifications? Like, what kind of rating do you have in the community? I don't trust the BBB. The BBB is a scam. That's a for-profit business. You have to pay for your rating. Okay. We lost a job a few times where they said, well, the BBB is a scam. You call them, you have to pay to get your A rating. And if you don't pay, eventually you get what's called an F rating. And I know most companies, they've lost, just so you know, the BBB has lost 97% of all their business. Very few people pay for the BBB. Now, they have the stickers on their doors. They're never going to take that off. But very few people pay for it anymore. It's a scam. So anyway, and I don't care what you say. You'll never talk me into it because I know it's a scam. You have to pay for your rating. Okay, it's not the Better Business Bureau. It's pay us and we'll give you a rating. That's what it is. So I don't use that anymore. But you lay your case out there. Are you licensed? Are you bonded? Are you insured? Do you have any kind of certifications? Do you do anything in the community? How long have you been in business? What kind of people do you hire? What are their qualifications? Like, who are you bringing to my house? Remember, you're bringing a crew to their house and you're going to rip that roof off or their walls out. If you're doing a remodel, if you're doing a kitchen, I'm ripping up your kitchen. These people are going to be in your house. You better know who you're bringing, who you're hiring that's going to bring people into that house. Anyway, when you look at all these man hours that it takes to do this, and then somebody doesn't want to listen to you, like, you can't train them. You cannot train them. Let's just take a couple of minute break. Let's look at Bitcoin. I'm going to put Bitcoin up there. This program is brought to you by A1 Roofing Solutions. Now, they're not here in Texas, but they're going to be soon. Okay? You can reach out to them if you want and say that you heard about them on TV, so they can put you in their books for when they get to Texas. They're going to be licensed, bonded, insured, certified. These people know what they're doing. Okay? Great company, highly recommended. Let's put up Bitcoin so you can see what is going on with Bitcoin. Take a look at that right there. Oh boy, look at that. 61,000. It's gone up about $400. It was 60,900 most of the day. The high of the day is 61,461. The low of the day is 60,528. So it's had about a $900 range. That's a good range. Take a look at this and we'll be right back. Okay. Let's get back to this. I want to talk a little bit tonight, guys. Let's look at Twitter. Let's look at a little bit of the news that's going on out there. This is pretty cool stuff.
Spain.
This is where Julian Assange.
He revealed the CIA's vast production
They
of
tried to
malware and
assassinate
viruses,
him, the U.S. government.
its subversion
This
of
guy's not
supply
gonna quit.
chains,
He's done now. There, he's out. He ain't going to
its
prison.
subversion
There
of
ain't nobody gonna
antivirus
pick him up
software,
anymore.
cars, smart TVs, and iPhones. CIA Director Pompeo launched a campaign of retribution. It is now a matter of public record that under Pompeo's explicit direction, the CIA drew up plans to kidnap and to assassinate me within the Ecuadorian embassy in London, and authorized going after my European colleagues, subjecting us to theft, hacking attacks, and the planting of false information. My wife and my infant son were also targeted. A CIA asset was permanently assigned to track my wife, and instructions were given to obtain DNA from my 6-month-old son's nappy.
Pretty interesting stuff. This is why you do not want to mess around on public transportation or anywhere out there. Here's a guy here who's, for no reason, gets up and just starts talking smack to this guy. Why you would do that? You know, bam, hit him twice. Ouch. This guy's going, dude, okay. Out like a light. "9/11 Pentagon hit is almost as suspect as the World Trade Center, which is almost as suspect as the two towers themselves." Yeah, total scam. I would say this is an inside job. There's no way those planes brought down the Twin Towers. And here's something else, guys and gals. I want to say this. I don't believe for 1 second the men on those planes were so coward that they let those Saudis or whoever was on the planes who was supposed to be hijacking. I don't believe for 1 second that American men were that coward that they were going to let box cutters keep them from protecting themselves and being hijacked. I don't believe that for 1 minute. And then, of course, there's nobody and no film and there's no black boxes. Isn't that something? They're never going to share that information with you. But you can't make me believe for 1 minute that American men and women, you women out there are tough too. I don't believe for 1 minute. Yes, there was a lot of phone calls made, but I don't believe for 1 minute that the men on these flights did not stand up, that they were afraid of box cutters. Don't believe it. Not for 1 minute. Not for 1 minute do I believe that caused these twin towers to come down. Because it's not true, it didn't. Well, you don't have no choice. It's bioengineered. It's been selling this stuff for a long time. It's just most people don't pay attention to it. It's all fake food. Bioengineered means 30%. It's about 30% synthetic. If it was 31%, they'd have to say that it was plastic. 31, it was plastic. It's bioengineered, which means it's fake. They're putting plastic and stuff like metal into your body. You're eating it. Wow, that's all I got to say. He almost got himself killed. He's like, let's go, kid.
$100,000 if you make this shot. Let's see. $100,000.
There's some good stuff on here. Anyway, yeah, you don't let people beat up on your sister. Like you don't get to hit the, yeah. Yeah, you don't get to be beating up on women. Totally get it. But how often do you have somebody that comes in that knows how to sell like I do? You have to. The best thing that you could do is just say yes and try it. If you don't listen, No one is ever going to teach you something wrong on purpose. The only wrong thing you can do is leave the house without a contract when they're wanting to sign. That is not only wrong, but it makes you look stupid. And it hurts your self-esteem. And it hurts your self-esteem. And it doesn't teach you how to follow through on a deal. Closing the deal is not getting them financed. Closing the deal is getting them to sign the contract. Your problem is that you don't know anything about sales, but you're not willing to learn. And when you're in house, you never tell the person who's leading I'm never going to listen to you because you're a fucking idiot and you don't know sales. Why would I listen to you? You're stupid. Now, 90 days from now, 6 months from now, you're going to know a lot. And then you're going to train somebody else. But you can't train somebody else unless you're teachable. And yeah, I'm never going to listen to you. You're an idiot. I know. Facts don't care about your feelings. Sorry. Have a good night. Tomorrow's a new day. Interesting stuff. Look at this right here. Look at this. This is the weather modifications in expansive growing industry. What you thought was a conspiracy. This is called seeding right here. They've been doing this since 1942. This isn't new. This is not new. The tornadoes, the weather, the hurricanes, all man-made. Snowstorms, all man-made. They've been doing this, what we know, since 1942. But what we're going to find out, because of the balloons and the up there, this has probably been going on for a couple of 100 years, at least 100 years, 150 years or so. Look at this. This is a good story. So Dubai did this and was flooded for a month. Yeah, you're going to find out remember I said this, you're going to find out that all these tornadoes are man-made. You're going to find out that these tornadoes are man-made. You can call it conspiracy all you want, but you're going to find out that these tornadoes are man-made. We didn't even have tornadoes in America till 60, 70 years ago. Didn't even have them. This is a new phenomenon in the last 80 years or so. Major storms, yeah. Major dust storms, yes. Tornadoes in the last 80 years or so, a phenomenon. Man-made. Yeah, that guy deserved it. Look at this right here. This is beautiful. I love this. This is a solar farm. Look at this. They say this is not clean, green, or environmentally friendly, but it sure is beautiful. Look at that. There's ways that they could do this. There's ways that we could have solar. Listen, energy should be free. Electricity should be free. 100-mile square radius. It doesn't have to all be in one place, but you could easily do it in Arizona or Nevada or Texas easily. It's okay. It's okay. I think that's beautiful, though. I don't know. I like it. I don't know if you've ever been in one of these. I was at Disneyland and rode one of those rides, and it's so real. It just blows you away.
ID.
Mate, wait for someone to right?
Ronnie!
Go away. Alright?
Well, you're not coming in.
Okay, we'll go out the way.
Oh, that is brilliant. I'd know him a mile off, and that is not George Michael.
Yeah, station way, we're just coming into it now.
That's the best one I've heard since I was in
Before or
Birmingham.
after the plaza?
Outside the club, and this bloke goes to me, I don't care if you're fucking Frank Sinatra, you're not coming in. Sorry, I know him a mile away, and that is not George Michael.
Traffic marshal doesn't believe us.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. No, the Wall Street is totally corrupt. It's totally corrupt. Yeah. It's totally corrupt. Oh, look at this. Look at this big owl. Beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Beautiful.
Fais gaffe qu'il te pique pas, il t'a un garde-fou qu'il a, s'il te plaît. Voilà. Fais gaffe.
Hello? What's up? Sitting here trying to do a TV show. Just kind of having some fun. Yeah. Taking a break, talking to the boss. About 5 minutes. All right, goodbye. All right, guys and gals. Had a good show tonight. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick before the end of the night. Look at this. Oh, boy. Let's take a look real quick. You see how it's gone up and down, but $61,276.16. You don't have to buy a lot of it. Matter of fact, this isn't the coin. Now, I'm a BSV fan, and I spent a. Let me put it this way: everything I got is way down there. Okay, it's not worth much, but that's what happens, you know. And but it's called investing, and you buy it. It was at $400. Now it's like $40. One time, you know, and I bought a bunch of it at $300, you know. Now it's like $40, you know. But that's the way it works. And if you don't sell it, you don't lose. You don't lose if you don't sell. Remember that. You don't lose if you don't sell. Remember that. You don't lose if you don't sell. So you just got to hold on to it. Do the old Warren Buffett thing. By the way, if you look at the trajectory of Bitcoin, let's look at it just real quick because we're almost to the end of it. Let's look at a 90-day chart. Look at this right here. All the way back to 2010. Bam. Ooh. You know, all the way back to 2010. And you see this? It's done nothing but go straight up. It's gone up and down, up and down. You see that? That's what it's looked like. That's a three. This is in 90-day increments right here. But you can see here where it's continued to go up, and it's going to continue to go up. It's going to keep going up. Is it going to come down? Yes. Yes. It's supposed to. But if you look at the stock market, how it's gone the last 150 years, it's done nothing but go straight up. This is going to go straight up as well. It just is what it is. It is. It is what it is. This program was brought to you by A1 Roofing Solutions out of Phoenix, Arizona. Now, we're in Texas, but they're coming to Texas. And, you know, when you have a company that's licensed, bonded, insured, all that good stuff, oh, boy, you know, there you go. Okay. So, anyway, you get what you pay for in this world. Thank you for letting us come into your house. I want to see here. Do you know the times? Okay. I'm getting off the software. Let me tell her. I'm done in 1 minute. There's a 2-minute change, believe it or not. Okay. 2 minutes. I'm done for the night. All right, guys and gals. So you have an important election coming up. I'm voting Trump. And I think that, you know, let's see what happens. But when you're in charge, I know we didn't get to velocity banking tonight, but when you're in charge of your own economy, a lot of great things can happen for you. Okay. So I encourage you, look into velocity banking, look into the infinite banking concepts. You can do it. Okay. Fly Mackie. Tallahassee, Florida, our newest channel. Oh boy, I can't believe it. I'll be out there soon. All right. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.